Hello, this is the demonstration video for the Group 1C2 of ENGG1330. Our game is like a gauntlet. You try to see how many times in a row you can beat these classic puzzle games, like Hangman, 2048, etc. So let's get straight into it. What you can see here is the code for the main menu of the game. As you can see, we have the logo of our game, Wordle, and it's going to be printed out when we put up the game, which I am going to do now. You can also select the difficulties by using the right arrow key or the left arrow key, and once you have decided on what difficulty you want to play the game in, you press enter and it will start the game. Let's start with the focus of the actual game itself, Wordle. Wordle will choose a word from our library of 500 most common words, and then it's going to pick a random one, and then that will be the word we try to guess. Like normal Wordle, if we get a letter that is correct and in the correct spot, it will be green. However, if we get a correct letter but not in the correct position, it's going to be yellow. And if we get a letter that isn't even in the word, that will not display any color. On the easy difficulty, you are allowed to input whatever you like. Even if you already know those letters aren't in the word, you can still use them to guess the actual word itself. However, on hard mode, once you have discovered that those letters are wrong, you will not be able to use them as an input for anything else. Also on hard mode, once you have discovered a yellow letter or a green letter, you must use those letters in subsequent guesses. Unlike normal Wordle, however, you are able to input a random string of random letters to form a word that doesn't exist. The reason for that is that our library of words is clearly not every single 5-letter word there is, so instead of putting players who know more words at a disadvantage, we decided to make it more friendly to the players to actually make an accurate guess. Regardless of if you got the word or you didn't get the word, you will be sent to a random minigame. So let's start with Hangman. Like Wordle, Hangman also has its own dedicated word list. However, the words in there have a lot more variety in length. On the easy difficulty, you will have 6 attempts before all part of that poor man will be hung onto the pole. You can choose to either guess a letter or guess a word. The way you win is either by guessing all the letters in the word or by guessing the word itself. We have also added a list of words you have already guessed so you won't make the same mistakes again. On the hard difficulty, you only get 3 attempts. However, that is not the only difference between the two difficulties. On the easy difficulty, the word chosen will always be 4 to 7 letters long. However, on the hard difficulty, the word chosen will either only have 3 letters or have more than 7. The reason why words that are only 3 letters long are exclusively in hard mode is simply because of how common they are, making it much more harder to pinpoint which word exactly we are trying to make them guess. For example, bat, cat, fat, sat. If you're unlucky, you might not be able to guess the correct word out of these 4, and this is to show just how punishing the hard mode is. For 2048, there really isn't anything special, it's just a classic 2048 game. When a new tile shows up, it's going to appear green so the player will be able to notice and make according moves. On the easy difficulty, the board will be 5 by 5. This is so the player has more space for errors and hopefully reach the target tile. The target tile is also at a much lower 256 for the easy difficulty. On the hard difficulty, however, not only is the target tile much higher, that being a 512, the board is also much smaller, allowing for less spaces for errors. And finally, we have tic-tac-toe, in which you play against the computer. The easy mode is extremely easy as the computer will just pick random spots. However, due to the random nature of it, the computer might actually take a really good spot and you might not be able to win. However, on hard mode, the position is not random at all. As a matter of fact, we ourselves have played a lot of games of tic-tac-toe to figure out what position is the best to take and how to actually block the opponent. The most common one being the double cross, which is exactly what we have made the computer try to focus on. One tip for advice: if you are playing against the computer, do not go second, you will not win. The way each game transitions from one another is by using the sub-process function, in which the value of the difficulty is also carried forward thanks to the system import. We hope you enjoy our fun little twist on classic minigames to make them less repetitive, and also add in much more difficulty to make the player experience more engaging and also more prone to improving. Thank you.